Welcome everybody. It's time to go wild. Welcome to the Time to Go Wild radio show on Halton Community Radio 92.3 FM and live across the world on hcr923fm.com/listen, tune in and smart speakers. If you want to contact the show, you can do so. Facebook or twitter.com/TTGW radio. We have email radio@widneswild.co.uk and the telephone 01928 835 291, or you can text 60066. Start your message with HCR and your text to charge at your standard network rate. It's that time of the week again. Let's do it. Everything ice hockey. It's time to go wild. And breathe. A very warm welcome, everybody. It's the Time to Go Wild radio show once again on Halton Community Radio 92.3 FM. And after one hectic game, it sounded like at the first period. I thought last night was going to be like a good game and quick. And then the second and third periods happened, witnessed in part and very closely in part of the third by my partner in crime this evening, Andy Witchley. Hi, Andy.
Good evening, Colin.
It was a bit snug for you towards the end of the game last night.
Yes, we've never had a full line in the penalty box before at once.
So
that was definitely interesting.
Yes, it was. How many was it? 5 we said were in the bin?
5 at one point, including Kearney, so I'm calling that 6.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It wasn't a nice sight. Reese, if you're listening, it wasn't a nice sight seeing. It was. At least you went and got your jersey back at the end. Oh, yeah. The first period was really quick last night, wasn't it?
It was open, it was fast, it was clean. And then it just descended into chaos.
Yeah. Just quickly reviewing it, yeah, it was like no goals and a couple of penalties, and that was it. First period, and it was like the video was like, "Hey, this is great! It's going to be a nice, fast game." And then a couple of incidents in the second, and a few goals, and then the third period. Well, we'll talk about it, I think, after the score, shall we, Andy? Here we go. Time for the scores from the leagues that we follow each week. Starting on Wednesday with Elite League action. Glasgow Clan 2, Nottingham Panthers 4, Cardiff Devils 3, Fife Flyers 2, Guildford Flames 1, Belfast Giants 5. On Saturday, Cardiff Devils 4, Guildford Flames 2, Nottingham Panthers 2, Sheffield Steelers 6, Manchester Storm 5, Belfast Giants 4 after a shootout, Glasgow Clan 0, Coventry Blaze 2, Dundee Stars 1, Fife Flyers 3. On Sunday, Sheffield Steelers 4, Belfast Giants 1, Coventry Blaze 3, Cardiff Devils 4 after overtime, Fife Flyers 3, Manchester Storm 2, Guildford Flames 4, Nottingham Panthers 1. EIHA Under-18s North 2 action from Saturday, Nottingham 3, Manchester 3. On Sunday, Sutton 2, Nottingham 5, Sheffield 9, Deeside 1. EIHA Under-15s North 3 action from Saturday, Deeside 13, Widnes 7. EIHA Under-13s North 3 action from Sunday, Blackburn 5, Deeside 4. EIHA Under-11s North 3 action from Sunday, Kingston 3, Bradford 3. EIHA Women's Division 1 North action from Saturday, Telford Wrekin Raiders 10, Nottingham Vipers 1. NIHL National League action from Saturday. Bracknell Bees 0, Raiders 2. Swindon Wildcats 2, Telford Tigers 3. Basingstoke Bison 2, Leeds Chiefs 0. Milton Keynes Lightning 8, Hull Pirates 5. Sheffield Steel Dogs 1, Peterborough Phantoms 4. On Sunday, Raiders 4, Bracknell Bees 3 after overtime. Milton Keynes Lightning 3, Basingstoke Bison 5. Hull Pirates 7, Telford Tigers 5. Peterborough Phantoms 4, Swindon Wildcats 3 after overtime. Leeds Chiefs 5, Sheffield Steel Dogs 4 after overtime. NIHL Division 1 North Morley action from Saturday. Blackburn Hawks D1 6, Sutton Sting 9. Billingham Stars 7, Nottingham Lions 1. And on Sunday, Solihull Barons 4, Sutton Sting 1. Nottingham Lions 3, Blackburn Hawks D1 6. NIHL Division 2 North Laidler action from Saturday. Bradford Bulldogs 4, Widnes Wild 5. On Sunday, Altrincham Aces 6, Sheffield Senators 4. Dragons 10, Blackburn Hawks D2 0. Telford Tigers D2 2, Hull Jets 5. And finally, Widnes Wild 5, Bradford Bulldogs 2. Come back next week for more scores from around the leagues. And after the weekend action, I managed to catch up with a few players from the YKK Widnes Wild to get their thoughts on the action.
It's not often we have home and away legs on the same weekend against the same team, but the YKK Widnes Wild this weekend were away in Bradford last night and then home against the Bulldogs again tonight. I've got a terrible trio with me this evening. We'll start off with the man who's backstopped both games, Phil Pearson. Well, your thoughts starting off with last night, Phil?
Yeah, last night's game, it was great. We started off really well, 3-1 up at the end of the first period. Second period wasn't our best period. We let a couple slip, could have done better. But yeah, overall, dug deep in the third and got the win. And that's all we want.
I mean, it's a tough rink. I mean, of course, you've been the backstop in that rink for a few years, so you know a few of the bounces, the way the rink can play, but it's always different being at the other side.
Yeah, it's definitely different being at the other side. Obviously, yeah, I played there for a good 3 years. And yeah, there are a few quirks with the rink, but they have to deal with the same thing we do, so yeah.
I mean, it's slightly smaller ice than Widnes, so you have to keep your wits about you as well as people can bail down you that little bit quicker.
Oh yeah, definitely. You've got to get rid of the puck quicker. You can never relax when you're in nets because you never know when it's going to come into the zone. But yeah, it's good fun.
So all in all, you think it was a job done, job well done?
Yeah, it was a job well done. Like I said, second period wasn't our best, but yeah, we did well yesterday.
And coming through to tonight, Bradford started off strong, Wild had to claw it back a little bit, and then sort of took control.
Yeah, obviously, first period was very even, 0-0. Second period, we didn't start great. We let in a short-handed goal and one straight after we were on the power play, but it happens. It's nice to see players that don't usually score many goals chipping in with a couple. Bezzy scoring a couple of goals tonight. I think he might have got the game winner as well. Did you not get the game winner?
No, I got the fourth and the fifth, I think it was. So somebody got the third, didn't they? Somebody else got the third.
Well, he doesn't chip in with many goals, so any goals he does chip in with are greatly received.
Well, we'll bring in Bez. To be honest, I think one of them was extremely pretty, to be honest. And when you do put a few in, there are some pretty goals you score. And I think it was the fifth one, right on the edge of the goal.
Yeah, I take my inspiration from the NHL highlights that I watched this morning for that goal. Definitely. But yeah, it's nice to put in some goals and just help the boys out, really. So.
I mean, it was a big team performance. It was a lively end in the third, but before that, coming back to 2-2 and then clawing it into 3-2 and then building on that?
Yeah, we always knew going into that third period, if we scored the first goal, they would start gooning it up and start being more physical and try and put us out of the game and take us out of the game. So it was really key that we got that third goal, that first goal in the third period to take them over the edge and make them do that, so we could be on the power play and start penalising them for it.
I mean, we did have a lot of penalties going into the Bradford sin bin at one point. It was a little bit snug.
Yeah, it was a little bit tighter, but as I said again, we knew they were going to do it. They would lose their head, so it was good for us to get on that power play and start penalising them with goals. So it was good.
Dan Bracegirdle, your thoughts on both games?
It's just nice to come with 4 points, especially from playing the same team both nights. I mean, last time we did that, I think it was the Aces, and it didn't go to plan, did it? You can get complacent if you win that first one on the Saturday, then come into your own rink feeling like, well, we beat them in theirs last night, we're at ours. But to actually screw our heads on tonight, claw ourselves back into it as well, showed a lot of character to get the result in the end.
I mean, apart from that one slight hiccup with the short-handed goal, the defence, particularly in the third period, really was well disciplined.
Yeah, you've got to be against these, haven't you? It's very easy to get sucked into a gong show, if you like. That's the way some teams tend to go when things aren't going their way, and I know it's frustrating, but you've just got to make sure you keep your own heads, and at the end you'll prevail, won't you? You'll come out with the 2 points, and that's all we need.
I mean, defensively, the first period was very tough. Lots of shots from both teams, but both teams defending their creases and looking after their goaltenders. And then that third period in particular, it was a case of, again, protect the goaltender as well.
Yeah, it goes without saying, doesn't it? You've definitely got to protect whatever's behind you. I think we've got a team that are willing to do that as well. There's plenty of us that are willing to stand in front of shots, block shots. Anything around the net, we'll try and clear out as much as we can.
So, winning the series now by 3-1 must be good in the dressing. A good feel in the dressing room, at least having that under our belts.
Yeah, whether it's 3-1, 4-0, doesn't really make a difference. Coming in after any kind of win feels good. We didn't have the quickest start to the season. We had plenty of backlog, I think, really, with games playing in the cup. Lots of games to claw back on other teams. Not all of them have gone the way we wanted, so coming into the dressing room with 2 points after any game feels great.
I mean, next week, if I'm not mistaken, Bez, it's Hull in Hull again. Last time, it just didn't happen. New start, fresh game, take it one game at a time.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely going to be a fresh game. That last game, obviously, everybody saw that we didn't perform, and us as players know we didn't perform, and it wasn't our best game. But it's not to say that we didn't go out there with all intentions. That we played our best. We played to how we were on the game. And on the day, it just didn't gel, and that's something we've got to figure out within ourselves and within the dressing room. And I think we've done that. And I think we've shown that this last weekend. We get beaten Bradford twice this weekend. So all we can do is go in with the same heart and mentality that we went into this game. So hopefully it comes out our way this time, or at least tighter than it was if it doesn't come out. But we're obviously looking for the win, and we're going to try and win every series. If we've lost one game, we're going to try and go in there and beat them 3 out of 4 times. So hopefully we can get this one going, and then that'll start a train and start the roll going against Hull. So.
And finally with Phil, it's the following week after that, we've got double home fixture, which is, if I'm not mistaken, it's Telford and Hull in here. So it's a busy couple of weekends coming up.
Yeah, it's definitely a busy couple of weekends. Obviously, like Bezzy said, the whole game wasn't our best game. Just got to do our best. I'll try not to let in as many as I did last time. We just got to take every game as it comes, and try and win every series. We can win every series. We're going to be pushing for. Well, we're definitely going to push for playoffs. And I think if we win all our games in hand, we can get to second. So that's the aim. That's definitely the aim.
Well, guys, thanks you all for joining me. We'll let you all get rested and ready for next week.
Thank you.
So,
Well, yeah, it was, as Phil said there, just going into next weekend's games briefly. We've got, I think it's double away, just having a quick look, it's double away for the YKK Widnes Wild and Blackburn Hawks Saturday. You know, it should go to the form book, do you reckon?
Yeah, I don't really think they're going to cause a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, that game at Christmas, we put it down to one mince pie and one Christmas pudding serving too many. And then the big games, really, there's 3 to play against Hull before the end of the season. And that, I think, those games are going to seriously determine the points difference between first and second, I think. It's, Hull's win streak this year is fabulous for them. It's, tip my hat to everybody at the Hull Jets. They've built that squad, and they've had the run that Widnes had last year.
Problem is, I can't see anyone other than us beating them.
Yeah, ironically, if we play, we stand a chance. But Hull really have upped their game this year, and they've done what to the league what Widnes did last year.
Yeah, and the last game proved as well. If we're not on it, they're just going to destroy us.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I was one of the first Hull games in a long time I wasn't actually there for, and it did seem a little strange that there was a Wild game in Hull and I wasn't in my usual little position in the Crow's Nest at Hull Arena. But having seen their footage from the game, they just came and dominated, and that's, if a team can get in that groove, the damage that they can do to an opposition is just phenomenal. I mean, last night we thought, hang on a minute, we're on the back foot here, 2 goals down in the second period, particularly one of them short-handed. Didn't go down well, I think, on the bench, that.
No, but I think overall the penalties cost Bradford in the end.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at the game sheet, they scored short-handed. No, it was an even-handed and then a short-handed goal, but thankfully, from a Widnes perspective, they answered very quickly and scored on that power play. So, 1-goal game, and then very shortly after got it to all level. So I think those 2 very quick goals, do you think that was the turning point?
Yeah, I think Bradford thought they were cruising, and then they just got absolutely stunned.
Penalty trouble in that the second period really hit them hard. Number of 2+2s, 2-minute minors, and then it just sort of calmed down a bit towards the end of the second, and then the entire third period was really, Widnes got that 4th goal. Yeah, the 4th goal at 41 minutes, and it was like we've lit the blue touch paper here. We're going to have a fast-flowing, good game, and then everything just went berserk at 50 in the last 3 minutes, and everybody who was there bears witness to what happened. It just went crazy.
The game was gone, and it just turned into old school Bradford.
Yeah, and it's a shame when that happens, because they've got a lot of skill and a lot of talent on that team, and it just ended up, as I said, you get this, the strange show comes back, and you're having to make sure you don't get sucked into to roughing penalties and fighting penalties at the wrong point, and cool heads managed to prevail. I mean, poor TJ ended up having a coming together with Reece Kearney-Witter, and they both sat there 2+2s, but
it was Haid I felt sorry for last night.
Yeah, he took a bit of a few nasty hits off Liam Salton. Well, the highlights all being well, and action from that game will be online, if not tonight, it'll be tomorrow night. It was a bit of an unusual night post-match, and as such the highlights are a little bit behind normal schedule, so they won't be going up straight after this radio show, unfortunately, but they will be going up as best they can as soon as possible. So you can, for those people who weren't able to get down to the game, they can witness some of the action anyway as things unfolded. It was a little, as we said before, it got tight for you in that sin bin.
Yeah, it can get a little intimidating in there. When you've got the lads in there with their armour on, with the skates on, 5 of them towering above you, and they're all not in the best of moods.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing when it's penalty after penalty and what have you, but tempers and adrenaline was really flowing in those last 3 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah, so even in the penalty box, the sticks flying about, banging on the glass. shouting, swearing.
It was definitely, mind you, one nice comedy moment was a nice bit between Ian Lorenz and Matty Barlow's dad, which I could hear these noises and these voices shouting, and when I looked down from the video perch, there's Ian and Matty's dad having a bit of a happy shouting match at each other, and all in good humour.
In front of Matty as well.
Yeah. Oh, it was all. I think they were both having a go at Matty for being in this. I'm looking down, going, "I'm watching you two," and they're looking at me and going, they're both laughing. We're having a right little laugh about, all in good humour.
Well, that's how it should be.
Oh yeah, it was. So, and even after the game, I said to the two of them, said to Matty and his dad, I went, I don't know who was the bigger troublemaker that tonight, you or your dad. They were just laughing. But, it is one way that you can ease and break the ice and calm things down afterwards. But
yeah, even the sweets didn't work last night.
Ooh, wrong flavour Haribo, I suspect. Other sweets are available.
No, Jelly Babies last night, and they didn't want them.
Oh well. It's got to be the other stuff then, hasn't it?
Yeah, plus it stops Ian Lorenz eating them while he's on his diet.
Well, it's things like that happen every time. Well, yes, we shall go through the game sheet, I think, because there was a couple of penalties at the end that didn't get announced because of the absolute madness that had ensued, and the referees making sure that everything was called accordingly. So within the last 3 minutes, starting at 57:23, you had Matt Viney with a slashing penalty. That was then scored on by Bez Hughes with a very, very nice shot. Managed to get himself right in front of the goal. Play behind the goal to Bez, straight in. And then Mark Hickson got 2 + 10 for 2 minutes for tripping, 10 for misconduct at 57:57. Plus Matty Barlow with roughing at 57:57. And then we had a bit of play. And then things went mad again. And we got Reece Kearney-Witter in 2 + 2 for fighting opposite our very own Tom Jackson, 2 + 2 for fighting at 50 minutes 48. As well as Liam Salt getting 5+ game. And it wasn't sure what that was called for originally, but it's come up as resisting an official. So that was called. Both of those were all called at 58:48, which is why it was so busy in the bin.
He was still hitting when the refs were on him.
Yeah,
I think Hayden had gone down and he was still going.
Yeah, it was a bit of a disagreement between the two players, and it was Liam decided to do what he did.
On a positive though, 2 goals for Bez last night.
Yeah, well. 2 + 1 for Bez, in fact, because looking down the scoring, it was Josh Stockton from Matt Viney, and then it was Miles Dacres from Josh Stockton, the 2 goals for Bradford. Then it was 5 on the bounce for the YKK Widnes Wild. You had Danny Bullock from Tom Jackson, Jakub Hajek unassisted, but both of those were power plays. Then it was Danny Hayde from Mikey Gilbert and Bez, then Bez from MJ Clancy, and then Bez again from Mikey Gilbert. So,
good night for Mikey as well.
Good night for 2 points. 2 points there for Mikey. So yeah, it was managed to spread the scoring around to a few of the unusual suspects, in particular there with Bez.
And Clancy with another assist. I said it the other week, he just keeps popping up. He's
getting in the right positions, he's doing the right things, and digging in. The whole team, I mean, everybody played their part. Everybody kept their heads. Charlie Ratcliffe, again, young lad, getting in all the right places, doing the things that he needs to do. And once again, I'm going to tip my hat to our very young defenseman, Mr. Danny Fay.
Epic as always.
I don't know how he manages to track back sometimes as quick as he does, but managed to avoid, after the short-handed goal, a number of odd-man rushes.
One player I'd want to give a mention to is Callum, Wellington Evans.
Yeah.
Because since he's come in, he's been brilliant, but he just gets on with it, really quiet.
Keeps it simple, keeps it playing, keeps it in the right place at the right time. It's just about every player doing their job right, and last night, thankfully,
from the Wild's perspective, things were played in the right way. Calm heads.
Yeah, well, it just shows with the penalties.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I will play. We'll have a little bit of music. One you weren't so sure about, a bit of Blue Oyster Cult and Burning for You. And it's your little reminder of all the what's on and up-and-coming fixtures. Of course, if you want all your details of the YKK Widnes Wild, check out widneswild.co.uk on the internet. If you want the Facebook pages, it's Facebook, and also for Twitter, it's Twitter. Facebook or twitter.com/WidnesWild or /TTGW Radio if you want the radio shows. If you want the Instagram page, it's instagram.com/WidnesWild official, youtube.com/WidnesWild Ice Hockey Club, where the main podcasts are hosted and also your highlights can be accessed. And this podcast of this show will also be available on our Podbean account, ttgwradio.podbean.com. We also still have, I think there's a couple of own and loan shirts available if you're still interested. Check out the fan section of the Widnes Wild's website. They're £80 for a black shirt or the yellow shirts, or £60 if you want one of the blue warm-up shirts. So if you want any more details of that, they're all on widneswild.co.uk. And of course, our sponsors this year include, of course, our very valued headline sponsor of YKK, our penalty box sponsor of the Sepsis Trust. We also have Sprakes & Son of Widnes, DMH Tyres, CL Woodworking, Blast and Paint Stripping, Bespoke Conversions, and our charity Stick and Step. Andy, lots of fixtures coming up.
Yeah, I'm going to rattle through these. We've got a lot. Saturday 29th of Feb, we've got Widnes under 11s, Bradford under 11s, face-off 6:15. We've got Widnes under 18s v Manchester under 18s, 7:45. And we've got Blackburn Hawks D2 versus the Widnes Wild at 6:15. Sunday 1st of March, big game, Widnes Wild women, last home game of the season against Telford Wrexham Raiders, that's 5:30. And Widnes Wild away at Hull Jets, 6:15 face-off again. Saturday 7th of March, under 9s cross-ice tournament in D-side at 5:15. And we've got Widnes Wild v Telford Tigers at 5:30. That's the rearranged fixture, I think, isn't it? Sunday the 8th of March, again, Widnes Wild v Hull Jets, 5:30 as always. Saturday 14th of March, Kingston under 11s v Widnes under 11s, 12:45. Solway Sharks ladies v the Widnes Wild women at 4 o'clock. And Widnes under 15s v D-side under 15s at 7:45. Sunday the 15th of March, we've got Dragons v Widnes Wild. I think the time's wrong on that one, is it? It's 14:45. I'm not going with that one.
Sorry, it's 5:45. Sorry, I didn't correct it.
Saturday 21st of March, we've got Widnes under 9s cross ice in D-side at 4:20. Billingham under 11s v Widnes under 11s at 5:30. And Telford Tigers D2 v Widnes Wild at 7 o'clock. And Sunday the 22nd of March, Widnes Wild v Blackburn Hawks D2 at 5:30 face-off.
So, yeah, busy fixture list coming up. Still plenty of games for the Wild to play as the season starts to draw to an end. And, yeah, I mean, some teams have only got a few games left, but, of course, because of the cup games and the earlier fixture congestion that we had, there's still, where are we? I can't even do the maths. 8 games left for the YKK Widnes Wild, but Hull have still got 6 to play. They've still got 6 to play. But, who is it? Someone's got 2. Who's only got 2 games? Is that Bradford? Altrincham have only got 2 games left. So, yeah, their season's almost completed.
Ours will soon go.
Oh, yeah.
A couple of double headers.
Yeah, I mean, the double away header, that's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, it's up the road in Blackburn and then across the Pennines to Hull, and then the following week it's both at home against, one against Telford, which will be a tough game. They're still scrapping along and want to make.
They'll make a nuisance of themselves.
Yeah, and then of course the very, very important game against Hull Jets, because we said at the top of the show, they've really pulled out all the stops this year to get to where they are, and credit where credit's due. They've really done what they need to do.
I thought you were going to say the Dragons was the important game.
Well, if we want to look at another perspective on the league, When you look at the maximum potential points now, there's the Telford Tigers D2 actually cannot qualify for the playoffs now. Their maximum potential points tally is 24, and you need a minimum now of 27 points to qualify for playoffs.
D-side are literally gone.
They're on the cusp. They can get 30, and next one is 34 points for the Sheffield Senators. So, Sheffield Senators are still in with a shout, but...
As we said, I think that's the top 4 done, just depends in the order.
Yeah. I mean, with the number of games left to play, for Hull not to take the title now?
I don't like to admit it. I think they've got it wrapped up.
Yeah. Well, if you look at the potential max points, it's both Altrincham and Bradford on 40. This is assuming the teams win all their games, that is. So they can both get 40. Widnes can get 43. Hull can get 50. But the key thing out of that is that Widnes and Hull have to play each other 3 more times. So there's 6 points at stake there. So who knows what could happen? All of a sudden, that 50 points could technically get chomped away. So, hockey is a strange game. Anything can happen. But who knows? The YKK Widnes Wild train was running at full belt last year for 17 games and had one blip and then just kept going again. What will happen with Hull? They could have exactly the same train going this year.
Yeah, we need to just concentrate on our games and see what happens.
One game at a time. It is very much one game at a time, and you just can't call it. There's been a couple of surprise turnarounds. I mean, even the Blackburn Hawks D2 have actually pulled out a couple of very interesting results this year.
There's been some close ones last few weeks.
Yeah, because you actually look at theirs. I mean, we thought it was strange that when the Wild played them, it was a 4-2 win to Widnes back in on the 29th of December. But since then, they've actually had a 6-2 loss on the 8th of February to Altrincham.
And as we know, Altrincham are flying.
Mm-hmm. They're flying well. And then on the 9th of February against the Sheffield Senators, a 3-2 loss. That's very odd. And that was in Sheffield.
Yeah.
A remarkable... That to me is an even more remarkable game than the 4-2. I'm gonna call up the game sheet for that. Yeah. In fact, they managed to pull one back in the dying minutes. They were 3-1 down, but actually they were 1-0 up. I'm laughing because that's brilliant.
They've had a tough season.
They've had a tough couple of seasons, but they keep digging. They just keep digging in, and
it's not a lot of penalties either.
No, and Dominic in that game, the netminder Dominic Jolly, 94% save average. There, 94% saves against Mark Hartley, 88%. So the shots on goal he saved. As it is, he's faced, where are we, 57 shots?
That's a lot of bruises on the next day.
57 shots and only let in 3. That is something else, that really is. So that is brilliant.
That's the kind of performance keepers put in when they're playing Widnes.
Yeah. I've got to give a quick shout-out, actually, to Karen Croyle, because at the weekend... when we were playing on Saturday night, actually, I noticed that she'd put a little sort of like and stuff to the tweets that were coming through from Bradford. And, our resident tweeter, Bex, top job. It's never easy tweeting a game of any kind, especially if the announcements aren't coming through and it's tricky to see, and depending upon your viewing positions and what you can actually see to hand. And I did mention to Karen about... in last week's show, I said with the penalties that came up, had she told Matt off? And she sent me a message back saying, yes, I had. Because Matt, we'd known Matt for 3 years at Widnes, and it's like, what happened for Matt to go into a fight? And she was sending a few messages back and forth, just
And in a case of, okay, somebody really upset him. Things apparently had kicked off in this particular game. And so, yeah, he's had to sit out a few.
I just, with Beck's tweeting, though, I just like the honesty with it. There was one she put on last night when the penalty box was full and literally just put, no idea what's going on. Everyone's in the bin.
And that's the thing, because most people, a lot of the time for the person who's tweeting the game, they're usually on the opposite side of the rink. So they can't see, particularly when there's a mad number of players in the bin. It's like, I've got no idea there's that many in there, and the backs, and a number will look like two numbers or whatever. It just gets really confusing.
Tickled me last night with Jill going over to ask the lads to sit down. So just all of them looking at her.
Actually, I should actually queue up Phyllis Nelson Move Closer in honour of what was going on in the box, because that used to get played at other rinks when the bin was that full.
It's just a party in the box.
Oh yeah, yeah. We could have what is it? I'm coming out. Get this party started, isn't it? Pink.
Yeah.
So it was weird because it was the first actual YKK Widnes Wild game we've had at home for a few weeks now.
Yeah, and we're straight back with a weekend off again.
I know. But we do and we don't have a weekend off. Because
no, there is a big game.
It is a big game. It's a very, very important game this Sunday, 5:30. And I don't want to sound like I'm begging. I'm encouraging you with the most encouragement I can. If you're in the area and you want to come and give the girls some support, please do. The Widnes Wild Women playing the Telford Wrecking Raiders. It's a very, very important game for the Wild Women and also for Telford, because both teams are vying for the title. To win the title gives them the chance to go to the playoff competition, and that is a ticket, that is the route to go back into the Premier Division. So to get back promoted after being relegated at the end of last season would be a fantastic achievement for the Wild Women, because they had a really, really tough season last year in the Premier Division, had a lot of new players, took the relegation on the chin, come down, kept training, played hard, worked hard, and they really, really desperately want to go back up. But again, Telford will be wanting to go back into the playoffs as well, so anything is possible. Who knows? So come down and give the girls some support this Sunday from 5:30. We really, really would like to see you there. I can see the green light flashing. Before we do that, we're going to do a bit of this. If I get the fader right. A bit of good, the bad and the ugly. It's time to see who's on the naughty step, because the IHA have been busy, Andy.
They're always busy.
Are you okay seeing some of these?
Yeah, so Telford Tigers' Thomas McKinnon received a match penalty for checking from behind in the game against Bracknell Bees last Sunday. McKinnon will miss games up to including March the 11th, 2020 for that one.
Oh dear. Blackburn Hawks' Corey Lee had been assessed a match penalty for an obscene gesture in the Midland Cup final on the 16th of February. He's suspended for 2 games with 5 points added to his record and misses games on the 22nd and 23rd of February.
I've got to do this one.
Oh, your mate. Our busy mate, one of our friends.
Everyone's favourite pantomime villain, Joe Greaves, picked up a match penalty for fighting. Player is suspended for 4 games with 5 penalty points added to his record. Greaves will miss games on February 22nd, 23rd, 29th and March 1st. And I believe, in addition, Blackburn Hawks have been fined for reaching 20 team penalty points. What I was going to say is it was only a few weeks ago he was sat in our penalty box telling me he's getting no points this season because he's playing at Blackburn.
Yeah, he's been a good boy actually this year, is Joe. And it's been proven because he's been playing, and when he's been out there, he's been doing well for Blackburn.
Yeah. And another favourite
of ours, Mike Jones from D-side, was given a match penalty for fighting in the game against a game in Telford on the 15th of February, and he's suspended for 4 games with 5 penalty points. Misses games on the 23rd, 29th of February, 1st and 14th of March. And the last one?
Cardiff Fire player Lewis Stevens picked up a match penalty for kicking in the game against Oxford on February 16th. suspended for 3 games, 5 penalty points added to his record. Misses games February 22nd, March 7th and 8th.
Wow. So there we go. Well, before we do just cover any last-minute news items, we are actually going to throw an extra song in, and I'll actually go with we'll go with a bit of All About Eve, and this is Every Angel. We're approaching the last 6-7 minutes of the show, really, with the way the clock runs. Yes, it was. I think the last few minutes of the game last night, just sort of reflecting on that, it was frustrating in some ways because it was one of those games where penalties really start to niggle at everybody, and as you could tell,
it just kills the game.
It can, yeah, and it does. So it's one of those ones. Unfortunately, I did think for pretty much most of the game, particularly all the 5-on-5 stuff, it was good hockey. It was particularly that first period.
It flew by.
It did fly by, and on top of which, the speed at which the game went, and the fact that both teams had lots of good shots on goals, and both goaltenders were doing really well, and both defences were doing really well. A case of who's going to make the first breakthrough. And I was watching when I was watching the game back while I was doing the putting the video together at the end of the night. I must admit, Miles Dacre's goal was very pretty.
Yeah, it was very well taken.
Very, very pretty. I must admit, that was nicely taken. He moved it well, placed it well. Phil tried his best, but Miles, I'll give you that one. I'll tip my hat on that. It was really nice. Very nicely taken. One quick little bit of news, because if you check out the news pages of the EIHA website, BBC Radio Shropshire are covering the National Cup final decider. They're going to be broadcasting some of the games from that. BBC Radio Shropshire presenter Paul Shuttleworth, he's also an ice hockey referee and coach, will be the lead commentator with presenter Mark Elliott and the Great Britain women's captain Saffron Allen summarising. So that's really good, that. So check out all the details on that, courtesy of the EIHA website. So it will be available on 96 FM in Shropshire and worldwide on the BBC Sounds app. So bbc.co.uk/Radio Shropshire and across the Midlands.
Got another weird little bit of news, haven't we?
Oh.
More of a shout-out, wasn't it?
Yes. An NHL shout-out moment here, and absolutely fabulous, and even more funny for the fact that the team it happened against. Go on.
So, David Ayres, Zamboni driver up at Toronto, doing his thing, sorting the ice, and gets called in as an emergency goalie for Carolina.
Yeah, not only was it a case of backup, no, he was the starter.
And he had a great game as well.
And I bet everybody out there has probably seen all the memes that have been going out there. And a massive congratulations to him. And it's a case of all the memes, you got beaten by your own Zamboni driver.
I think, was it 5-3 in the end, was it? 6-3?
For the Carolina Hurricanes. And it's just a case of all the things to happen. I mean, I've heard of a college student, this was for the Vancouver Canucks a number of years ago, got called up because the starter was injured. Their primary backup was with, when they were still partnered with Manitoba, was at Manitoba Moose. But they were the other side of the country, so they couldn't call him back in time. They needed so their regular backup, so to speak, was going in the goal, and they didn't have an extra backup available. So they were trying to get in touch with the college kid. But that's even more spooky, the fact that it was the Zamboni driver.
And this is why Sprakesy should always carry his kit. Yeah.
Oh, you never know. Well, a friend of mine had backed up for Basingstoke Bison back in I think it was the BHL. He basically got to sit. He sat on the bench in kit for an emergency backup, and he thought at one point he was going to actually have to go on the ice. And he plays sort of field hockey, but he knows his ice hockey pretty well. But yeah, it's a case of can you guest for us on the bench? So yeah, it's one of those sports, is hockey, isn't it?
That's going to go down as one of the great trivias.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's like goalies who score, and then name the goaltender that
Or what?
Name the Zamboni driver.
Name the Zamboni driver that won his debut ice hockey match in the National Hockey League. Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. So, yeah. If you've got any other little tidbits like that you want to share with us, please do so. We've got the Facebook page, facebook.com/ time to TTGW radio, or you can drop them through to our Twitter page. And we'd like to share these little tidbits with people out there. But yeah, we're about at the end of another show.
Flew by.
Again, it has. Thanks for coming in, Andy.
You're right, I'm going to go and watch the match now.
Oh, yeah, the other match.
The other match, yeah.
Yeah, the other match, yes. Yeah. Was it 22 men on a piece of green carpet kicking a round thing around?
That's the one.
Instead of big men with blades and sticks beating living daylights out of each other on a piece of ice.
Yeah, but I don't get trapped in the penalty box with 5 massive people.
Yeah, it's snug. You know, they're like big teddy bears, really, aren't they? They're all big teddy bears.
It was good catching up with Matty Barlow.
Yeah, I think even Reese is a big softy at heart.
Reese is actually a really nice guy.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it for another week. I'll be back on Thursday night with the Box of Delights and our usual round of musical mayhem. You never know what I'm going to play. And back next Monday with more Time to Go Wild Radio, and of course a big feature will be on the Widnes Wild women and their last home game against Telford this Sunday, 5:30 face-off, Planet Ice Widnes. Please come down. Their girls from both teams will really appreciate the support. They'll love it. They'll all love you forever. And let's make it a great night for both teams. Andy, thanks for it.
Been a pleasure.
For me, take care. I'm playing out with a little bit of Buckman Turner overdrive, but something a bit different. Taking care of business. Till next week, ta-ra.